I love the library.
Then why did you shoot Fortitude in the face?
I was doing my job.
You don't have a job.
Hey Ernie, I am Owen Danoff, and
Hey, Owen.
thanks for taking the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time.
I'm sure you've heard 100 billion times in your life how awesome you are in all these movies, but it's always such a pleasure to watch you on screen. So it's
Oh, thank you.
chat. I guess the first thing I want to ask is, like, I saw an interview where you said a major condition for you returning to this franchise was that Winston is like a full part of the story. It seems like you got that. To me, like, how do you feel about his role as kind of the CEO and like funder of the Ghostbusters in this?
Yeah, I think it's for me, it's very, very exciting. First off, to see Winston has used this past 40 years effectively, that he's done very well in life.
Yeah.
Not dependent on the Ghostbusters, but he's been able to help the Ghostbusters. So many kids, really loved the character and identified with him, sort of because he was sort of the down-to-earth guy. And it was very important for me that they see an evolution, that they see Winston has not just, stayed in that position. But also it was very important for me that he maintained his humanity. I see a lot of characters where the guy becomes very, very successful, but somewhere along the line, they lose their humanity. But Winston's a guy who really appreciates these guys who gave him a job when he really needed it. And he's just a very loyal guy, but just an example of what's possible. That was really, really critical. And the other part that Frozen Empire did was they showed that Winston, not only is he fascinated with the whole Ghostbuster thing, but he's developed this research center to kind of look into what's really going on here. And, so all that was really, really important.
That was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie, was getting to kind of see, like, Winston was kind of allowed us to see how the lore is expanding, how these new gadgets are coming to be. And like, that to me was really exciting. Was that something that was exciting to you when you read the script?
Yeah, I think so. That now we have the resources that we can, look a little bit deeper, And I think the whole thing with Danny Aykroyd with Ray Stantz is, the retirement, but not retirement in the sense that we don't contribute, but we don't be running around shooting up, statues and being ridiculous. We have to take a different approach. It gave Winston just range, When we did the first movie, I would go to schools and make kids honorary Ghostbusters. But one of the questions the kids would always ask was, where does Winston go? And they would ask that because when Winston wasn't on screen, we knew nothing about Winston. We saw the other guys. Ray had his bookshop and Spangler had his lab and Bill had his TV show, but Winston, we didn't know, who is this guy? And so for Winston now to just have a lot more levels to play was really very cool.
How much time did you spend imagining what Winston was up to in between these films and stuff? Like, did it match your thought?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of time. I just thought that if I look at my own life, I mean, just, I'm not where I was 40 years ago. In so many ways. And I look at the other guys, Bill and Danny and Annie and Bill Atherton, who worked on the show as well. We've all had these amazing careers. Every single one of us have, done amazing. And so, just in life, So I think in that way, I mean, Winston has developed in business, which I haven't. I mean, I don't understand that. I can't say that, but he's grown and he's been involved in expansion, and I think that's what. And also, I look back and I kind of go, yeah, there are a lot of things that I've been able to do without having to, turn to evil, so.
Yeah.
because sometimes I hear so many stories about things that, oh my God, this person is up to this or that. I go, I don't know. I don't do that. So all that was for me was important to bring in just a balanced guy, but a guy who is, really curious and using his resources to do some good.
I don't know if there's a sequel like confirmed, but do you have anywhere that you would like to see the next film go, and would you want to keep coming back in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to keep coming back if, like I said, if the character is, involved. I wouldn't want to come back and just do a really quick cameo. Just a couple of shots. We're standing there, we're too old to put the packs on. We're just holding the packs, on the ground or something. As long as there's a purpose, a reason for being there, it'd be great to come back. The new guys, Paul Rudd and Kerry Coons, McKenna Grace, those guys are great. So
yeah,
they don't necessarily need us, but I think the fans enjoy our journey and where we are. So it'd be great to, I'd love to come back and be a part of it as long as it makes sense. Sometimes you think, go sit down, maybe, but you don't have to get to that point.
Yeah.
But, which is why I work in life. Just lately, people have been talking about the shape that I'm in, but it's important to at least be prepared physically. So if I need to run a block, I can do that, or whatever. I can carry the packs without problem.
I don't know if you'll have an answer for me, but speaking of quick cameos, what do we as a society need to do to get Rick Moranis to show up just for like a minute? Or like a quick anything.
Yeah, that's so, because Rick is such an important part of the success of all of this.
Yeah.
I think everybody understands that and agrees to that. I don't know why. I haven't had a personal conversation. I talked to Ivan Reitman before he transitioned, who I know had spent a lot of time trying to convince Rick. I know that the other guys have talked to him, and I'm not sure why. He just said no. So I know they offered him more money than they offered me, but and if I thought going to his house would make a difference, I'd be there. But because I'd love to see, not just in Ghostbusters, but I just think he's an amazing talent. I would love to, see him just working. But obviously it was a personal choice, and they did a country western album or something, but I don't know. But I'd love to see him back if there was any possible way.
Okay, so I'll see you later, huh? I'll give you a call.
Real quick, I was very sorry to hear about Quantum Leap. I was wondering if you had, if you had a reaction to that, and how maybe you had hoped to continue Magic's story in that series.
Yeah, I was really kind of disappointed because I felt like it just takes a while for a show to kind of catch on and figure itself out, and but I thought we were sort of getting there. I love the cast. There was one episode where Magic is the hologram. But it was a little frustrating sometimes because, being sort of the director who sort of runs the thing, but it wasn't really demanding work-wise. So if there was a way of being a little bit more involved in the leaps, it would have been a little bit more satisfying. So I love the cast. I love the show. But I would love to have figured out a way to, at this stage in life when I'm working, I want to bring something. I want to work. You know what I mean? I'm not, sometimes if I had maybe had a career of starring and everything, maybe I'd be at a point now where I'm saying, I just want a little part, get paid, go home. But I'm still looking for that role. I'm still looking for that way that I can contribute to a project. I get offered a lot of things. So, well, we just need you for a day. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to work for a day. I mean, I want to work. I want to show up, while I'm excited about doing what I do. And so I don't know. But I am disappointed in Quantum Leap. But had it continued, I'd really want to be utilized a little bit more than what I was. But, it was a great cast, and Raymond Lee is an amazing talent. I hope that great things are, coming up for him. But I would like to have, been just more involved in the leaps, I guess.
Makes sense. Well, I think that's all I got for you. But thank you so much, man. It's a pleasure chatting with you.
Well, the pleasure is mine. Thank you, man. Really good to see you. Good luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you. You too.
Golden years! Golden years!